It is a sideshow. I mean, the whole thing is a complete joke. This AIG meltdown and the resulting takeover by you and me. We now own 80% of it. I'd like to cash my percentage in. Frankly, I need the money. But it is a joke in one sense. It's very serious, as Prairie 2 pointed out. It's a very serious situation here. And of course, they should be taken out and shot. Absolutely. Trial? Come on. We all know they're guilty because what they have done is set this whole thing up to end the world. Now, there should be a penalty for that. There's no penalties for authorizing torture in the United States. There's no penalties for subverting the Constitution. There's no penalties for invading other countries, but should there be a penalty for trying to end the world? And shouldn't it be something swift and extreme like a firing squad? I happen to think so, but that's just me, you know. One of the arguments to continue to pay these rapacious sons of bitches the money was that if they weren't paid, they'd leave the company. Huh? That's the part I don't quite understand. Now, let me backtrack. This whole thing is a sideshow. It really is, but it happens to be a very serious sideshow. This is like being on the midway at a carnival, and there's important things to do. A midway at a state fair, important things to do. Go look at the cows and the jelly preserves and all this other stuff. But then there's the freak alley, where they have the woman who has the head of a cow and the man who is from the waist down a snake or whatever. And that's kind of a sideshow until you walk into one of those places and you see that there's an animal there that can reproduce itself at an alarming rate, and it eats humans, and there's no way to stop it from eating humans, and it's in a cage, and oh my. So yeah, the AIG thing is a sideshow, but, you see, So the big argument about withholding the bonuses, oh, well then, the U.S. government is going to void contract law. What the goddamn hell is going on? A contract law? A contract between AIG and the division that set up the most incredible destructive scam in the history of capitalism. And the pig man and the limbots are all screaming about, well, you can't have the government step in and nullify a contract. What if the lives of billions, literally, of people depended on nullifying that contract and executing the people who did it so that they don't ever do it again? Isn't that the argument that you hear from the capital punishment proponents? Huh? Well, goddamn it, kill him. Then he'll never shoot another grocery store clerk dead again. That's what you do with that. Well, okay. I mean, in a way, advocating capital punishment that's a struggle I'm involved in constantly about whether or not I don't believe in it or do believe in it. I go back and forth. But this is different. This company and the executives in one division must have spent hours figuring out how can we set something up here that ultimately, I mean, every pyramid has a top when it reaches the point, and you can't build on it any further. How can we set something up here that ultimately is going to crash the entire planet? How could God? And they must have spent how many nights up until 3 a.m. doing cocaine and all sorts of speed, just furiously writing numbers down, going on their computer, figuring out, how do we do this? How do we collapse the entire global economic system? I know. Debt swap derivatives. Oh, wait, we got to work on that name a little bit. It's got to be, we'll come up with something. That's not a capital offense. 11 AIG workers who received retention bonuses of $1 million or more have already left the company. Remember that? Oh, and remember that argument? Well, we got to pay the bonuses. We'll leave all these good people. Good people? Jesus, things have gone wonky, haven't they? I mean, we are so far through the looking glass at this point. It's just time to head for the popcorn concession. And there's nothing you can do about it. There's nothing I can do about it. There may not be anything anyone can do about it. But remember back in February when Obama announced that the top executives' pay at companies accepting TARP funds would be capped at $500,000, with any additional compensation coming only in the form of stock options that could not be cashed until the government had been repaid. And remember what sort of reception that goddamn communist idea got? Remember that? As news of the plan leaked out, wealthy Wall Street went into panic mode, insisting that the caps would ruin the financial industry. Oh, my God, caps? $500,000? Oh, happy St. Patty's Day. So, a Republican senator suggests that AIG's executives should resign or commit ritual suicide in shame over the bonus payments. I say they should be shot at sunrise by a firing squad, sober or not, just, boom, boom, boom. Because what they devised was a scheme to end civilization as we know it. Oh, they were just greedy sons of bitches, but the result of their damage, as Prairie 2 points out, could lead to thermonuclear war. I mean, come on. Come on. I mean, goddamn, come on. Oh, holy cow. In a letter yesterday, New York Attorney General Andrew Cuomo said 11 workers have left the company, including one individual who received a $4.6 million payment. That's in addition to 10 more who got bonuses, retention bonuses. I guess they're Republicans. They don't know what the hell the word retention means. Retention bonuses of $1 million or more, and after they got that, they split. Here's your money. Oh, bye. Now, regarding those bonuses, back in, I think the first week in February, Obama announced that top executive pay at companies accepting these funds would be capped at $500,000. And the only way these parasitic son of a bitches, who I am starting to hate more than I hate Dick Cheney, which I thought Dick Cheney was the absolute, what's the word I'm looking for? Quick, Kathy. The peak, the Mount Everest of my hatred. But I've discovered that my capacity to hate people that screw up my country, my constitution, or my planet, I've got even a greater capacity to hate. Man, that's really good. I'm going to have to see my therapist about that. Because I had no idea I had that much capacity to hate. But I do.